very good evening and welcome to Try Time KE with me, your host Mohamed Abubakar, a show where we cover all matters rugby in the country. It's been an exciting weekend of football. Lots to talk about in the Kenya Cup, around 11 of matches that were played over the weekend. And of course, we'll be taking a look at the following fixtures, match day 12. Before we delve into the Kenya Shujaz World 7 Series is back this weekend, where the Kenya Sevens will be heading to Las Vegas. We'll be talking about all that in the next 40 to 45 minutes. I'd like to invite my panelists, the usual lineup, Benjamin Ayimba and Lavin Asego. Karibuni sana, gentlemen.
Asante.
All right, now, before we kick off the show, we'd like to start off with the tragic news that hit the rugby fraternity and rugby family in Kenya. That is the demise of the late Richard Akoth Sidindi, the versatile Impala back. I'd just like us to just tell me about your reactions when you found out this tragic news, how you knew him, your memories of him, and of course, message of condolences maybe to his family and friends.
My initial interaction with him was at Impala. Impala is my home club, and I'd gone back there to try and help the club pick up, and that was his second season there. And he's one of those players who you want to have on your side because he was very hilarious, had fun all the time, played his heart out, represented the club with all that he got. A very unfortunate situation. Young, very enterprising player, and well, a member of society you're going to miss both as a fraternity and as his club. He's had he was carrying a lot of burden from home, so that is something that is going to be there's a gap there that is going to be really massive to fill. It's a very sad situation. This is one player who embodied rugby as a sport completely in one person. So I'm quite saddened because those one of those young players that I'd really had a soft spot for. And for Impala and the nation as a whole, we've lost quite an asset, and it's the saddest of times. For his family, we don't even know how to say it. You don't know how to say sorry anymore. You know, yeah. It's quite heavy on our hearts.
Lavin?
I mean, Sidindi, or Jada, as we used to know him, he was a player who came from Kisumu RFC. Of course, Kisumu is one of the clubs that has produced quite a variety of players for this country. And he's one of the players who he realized what he had in terms of talent, and he got the opportunity to move from Kisumu to come play in Nairobi, and he did not take that for granted. He took it with the seriousness it deserves, because many a times you find players who are very talented, but they take it for granted, they don't show up for training. But if I can pick from an example where last season, where Impala did not do very well in the local 7 circuit, but even when Impala were playing in the Shield, Sidindi was there for them, because that's the type of person that he was. He was a person who never gave up, he always gave his 100%, whether they were winning or they were losing. And like Ben just said, it's a big blow to Impala, to his family, and to the wider rugby fraternity. And no amount of words that we say here can try and convey the sorrow that the family is going through. It's definitely a big loss. But you know what? As his brothers, as his sisters, who interacted with him, I think the best thing we can do is just let his memory carry on, the things that he stood for. Let's also try and replicate that. Let's come stand together with the family. I know there's various activities that his club have lined up just to try and support the family. Let's come and support him, because he was one of the people that you always want to be next to, because he was fun-loving, and he was outgoing and always willing to lend an ear to you when you had any problem. So definitely a big blow. May he rest in peace, and us as the rugby fraternity will do everything that we can to try and support the young family that he's left behind.
Indeed, indeed. And despite the exciting weekend of rugby that we had, it's been a tough start to the week for, of course, his family, all rugby lovers, and, of course, his teammates as well. So on behalf of Bamba Sport as well, I'd like to extend my heartfelt condolences to the family, teammates, and friends. May God give you the patience and strength during these trying times. We will be keeping all of you in our prayers and thoughts. Very well, gentlemen. We'd like to carry on with the show and start off with the Kenya Cup Match Day 11. The first game that was live on Bamba Sport, Impala against Homeboys. Now, this was a crack of a match as well before going into the big one.
Yes.
And I know you guys were also there. The Queen's fraternity
Yes,
attended in numbers.
of course.
But it was a good day of rugby. But quick reactions to this particular game, Impala, Homeboys.
Well, if I can talk on Impala, based on the game that they had against KCB, it was a much better performance than what they've had in the recent past. And one of the things that I loved about Impala and their forwards is, despite them not being as big as the Homeboys, they are quite a solid unit because they do a lot as a unit. You find that they dominated the Homeboys in the scrum to the point that they won a penalty try against Homeboys, which is not, I mean, the Homeboys boys, they are very big. So it's a testament to the good technique that the management is implementing in the scrums. Now, the other thing from the Homeboys is they had flashes of brilliance, but just like throughout the season, it's been an individual effort. One big run from a player here, one big run from a player there. And that's what they've relied on so far. But on the day, Impala shout out the big, quote-unquote, big players from the Homeboys, like Leonard Mugaisi, Leonard Dongo, even Steve Otieno at the back of the scrum. They were kept at bay enough, and I think this was a good win for Impala. Very good win for them.
There was a lot at stake here.
They needed it completely. Yeah. And I think Impala came onto the field really wanting the game. Homeboys started very, very slow. I think they thought that it was the Impala they played in the first round as well. So Impala came out guns blazing, and it was massively a different game than it was a massively different game as opposed to what they thought. Oh, this is something we're going to have an easy win on. And having seen Impala grow in that particular game, they started very well. You remember Ndong talking about the first 15 and the last 15. Yeah. So they started very, very well. They only dipped in the last 15. So I think once they saw the last 15, the last 15 they should be able to do well.
I think just one more thing about Impala is I've noticed that they've chosen to play Xavier Kipngetich at number 10. So it means they're playing two scrum halves at number 9 and number 10. Now there's advantages of that in terms of passing the ball because both have very good passes.
Yes.
Yeah. But then there's something that you lose when you play a scrum half at number 10, because you see that the nature of the scrum half is to try and look for those pockets, those small gaps at the base and things like that. Yeah. So sometimes even at number 10, when you're supposed to distribute the ball, you find yourself just trying to play as a scrum half. I mean, it's worked for them so far in some aspects of quickly whipping out the ball, but then playing a number 9 at 10 position, you sort of lose something.
You lose the decision making. Swift decision making. Yeah. Scrum halves are used to distribution, so what they'll do is they don't have to think about it too much. Yeah. But when you put him at fly half, where he has to think, where this guy's coming from, how much time do I have between the line of defense and the next one coming in for the pass. So you find that if he shut them down early, it's going to be a problem for them. Yeah.
All right, now this loss for Homeboys leaves them in a very awkward position in the table. We'll come and take a look at the table later, but Simon Odongo was clearly frustrated after the match. Just have a listen to what both coaches had to say. Your thoughts on the game, coach?
To be honest, I didn't like the game at all. But anyway, you have those days. Yeah.
What does this do now to the last 5 rounds up until the end of the group phase of the Kenya Cup in terms of the places for the playoff spot? Because Impala's win now has made sure they leapfrog. You guys are now below them. What are we planning now for the future?
As a coach, you can only do so much. One of my philosophies is to be passionate with respect and observe all the laws of the game. And at times, you can just prepare your players to play against 15 players. So, I don't know. If 15 players show up of the opposition, they'll play.
Do you think having one man less right at the very end there kind of like deterred your chances to catch up?
No, not really. I'd take it to, okay, we woke up late in the second half, but also you can only play the game if you have the ball. Yeah, so if the person officiating decides you don't have to have the ball, and it's very, very difficult.
All right, all the best moving forward, coach. Yeah? Points here. How big is this one in that race for the top 6 spot?
First of all, I think this is our first win against Homeboys in a long time, so we'll definitely take the W. And to win it with a bonus is even better. You know, last week we had a decent start against the defending champions KCB. It was 0-0 at halftime, but we lost that game 25-3. Today, we had a similar good start. The difference today was that we were able to back up our first half performance into the second half, even though towards the end it was loose a bit, and there were a few 2 scores away from just drawing the game. So I think what we did today was we backed up the good start and finished up the end to get the 36 points. And again, of course, our kickers today, you know, the performance was good. We had only 2 tries, yet we had 29 points, so that just shows you how important kicks are.
I wanted to add, you did start strongly, but then again, at the very end, you had one man in the sin bin. Do you think that almost was a blow? I mean, because they were catching up, Homeboys.
Yes, it was an unfortunate yellow card, but a yellow card nonetheless. And I think he wanted to go for the intercept, but the refs judged it as sort of stopping. And what he did also, he got a bonus point try. A penalty try, which is 7 points. So that was difficult, yes, but we held on well, I think. I think we were very good today in terms of determination and defense. Our defense was decent. We met them at the gain line. We didn't sit on our heels, and that helped a lot. Yeah.
All right, all the best, coach, moving forward. Thank you so much. That is coach.
All right. I can see us continuing there, going on.
Yeah.
That was Saturday.
Yeah.
But your reactions to the coaches?
Very, very, very visibly unhappy, Simon, and I understand his frustration. Is that they had that game for the taking, and they just never showed up. It reminded me of our game against Black Blood, when you do so much and the players just refuse to play.
Yeah.
So because they're done so well, if you saw the game between, I think, in the last 20 minutes of that game, Homeboys gave it their all, and that's why they rallied very well against Impala. They left the game too late. I think that really cost them. I think they'd known what to do, but they thought it was going to come just because they wear the gold and blue shirt.
I think for Coach Oscar Osir, it's good to know that they learned from the previous game against KCB, and they made better decisions this time round. You saw that they were very composed. The decision makers in the pitch, they knew when to kick for touch, and they knew when to kick for goal, and they knew when to take the quick tap penalty, which was, it was not happening against KCB. So he's mentioned about being happy with his kickers. Definitely you see the importance of having good kickers. It helps you pile the pressure on the opposition, because as the clock keeps ticking, you also keep piling the points. That's why even though Homeboys had a late rally towards the end of the game, the gap was widened enough that Impala had a cushion. So definitely good win for Impala. Ben just talked about Homeboys. They're in a bad place in the league. Simon is visibly, he's not happy. But you know what? That's the nature of the game. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. We'd like to carry on and talk about the next live match on Saturday. Now, this one was the big one. Everyone was looking forward to this game.
Yes.
Did it live up to
your it lived up to its billing, to the limit.
Yes.
In fact, I thought if I ever missed that match because we had to play on Saturday, I'd be very unhappy, because that was a brilliant game of rugby.
You could feel it was a good battle of tactics as well from the two coaches.
Yes, and the good thing is that they all came at each other, hammers and tongs. And the beauty about it was you can see the growth of the game in Kenya because of the high level of competition now, and the excitement around the field from the players. Everybody trying to run hard. The tackles are coming in thick and fast, and the crucial things were done very well. We had both sides with the cool heads, taking the penalties when they needed to. The scrummaging was marvelous for me. I think this is two very good scrummaging teams in the league, and they did extremely well. As a scrum coach, I get excited when things like this happen. The contest was.
was good.
It was beyond what Kenya has been used to in the past. So the competition in Kenya Cup now is really improving the quality of rugby, and that's exciting to see that match on the day. Yeah.
It was almost a game of two halves, Lavin, because the first half was very competitive.
Yeah.
But in the second half, something happened and Cabras could not keep up.
I think what helped KCB is they know how to play championship rugby, and the other thing that really helped them is the KCB do have a very strong bench.
Yeah.
Cabras do lack strength in the bench. I think at the moment Jeff Koinange's bench is even stronger than Cabras's bench. Because imagine if you're trailing by 2 tries, and then you look on the touchline, you see Moses Amusala warming up, you see Asati warming up.
Yes.
These are players who they're Kenya Simba players, and they're here to check into the pitch. I think for the bench for KCB,
Nyukuli also came in as a sub.
yes, Brian Nyukuli, former captain, came in for KCB. So if you look at the depth of the bench, I think that's what really helped KCB. But all credit to Cabras. First of all, their fans travelled well, which is always good to see. They added the atmosphere.
I mean,
of
Impala
the
Grounds
place.
was packed.
Yes,
It was,
Impala
yeah,
Grounds was
that
packed.
was-
Which was
You'd be mistaken for Fladiz.
yeah, Ben just said it's good for the game.
Yeah.
Now, the thing I'd like to highlight about KCB, where I'm worried, is they did not deal very well with the kickoff. They did not deal very well with the kickoff. In fact, the first points they conceded was from a kickoff that they did not retrieve. I still feel if Dan Sikutas had dived over over the chalk, they would have scored the try. But I guess because of grass bands, he chose to put it on the inside. But all credit to Max Adaka. I think he listened, he watched the show.
Oh, yes.
Because the lineups were
He
much,
threw
much
some-
better.
I wanted to ask.
He threw something this weekend.
He was much better.
Far better. I think he got well over 70, 80%
Exactly.
of his...
And
And against a very good
jumper, yes, because there's Muita and there's the Olishe.
Olishe, yes.
And to the extent where Cabras actually had a pushover try. So it goes to show you that they actually listened. Now, my only concern for Cabras is, first of all, Mr. Basson at number 10, it's all well and good to play in the pocket when you're playing against Black Blood, you're playing against Mean Machine. But when you're playing against KCB, who
They'll look
matches
for
you,
you.
they'll identify
Yeah.
you, and at some point you have to tackle.
Which they did. You know, Basson is not doing very well. So he's probably carrying an injury or just doesn't like to tackle. And the coach is accepting that, and he's standing in the pocket. The pocket is right behind where the scrummaging is happening. Either the set scrum or the mole or rack. So what happens is he does not take the front on tackles. What will happen is he will send somebody to knock off somebody who's standing at his position, pop the ball and go straight to him. If you won't tackle, it's going to be a long day.
The other thing I feel that perhaps Cabras trusted too much in their backline, but they chose to go first face to the outside a bit too quickly. And the passes are not going
Very
to
easy
hand.
to defend then.
It's very easy to defend, and what that means is you're not using Nick Baraza at number 12 to his strengths, because Nick Baraza is one
The
of the...
battering ram.
He gives you very good platform. So if you play the ball out wide to the wings very quickly, you're negating his strengths. And then the other thing is Kevin Keegan playing him at wing. You have to bring him into the game very early. Because I remember in the first half, I was standing on the outside, and I did more work going to grab a drink than Kevin Keegan did in the pitch, because he did not touch the
Barely
ball
touched the ball.
at all. And this is a player who is very versatile.
brilliant.
In open play, we see what he did against Queens. So for him not to touch the ball in the first half, that's an asset that you're losing massively. But all credit to Cabras, they came to play. Unfortunately, I believe the depth of their bench is what did them in the second half.
Championship rugby. And remember what you're talking about earlier, and when you're doing the predictions. KCB being what it is, can have the starting, the bench, and another bench of very good players. So going towards the tougher end of the business end of this league, you must have that kind of a setup. Without that, then of course you guys are going to be worn out, because one tough game after another, and you don't have a very good bench. Your first 15 will get worn out really quickly. And of course, teams now have realized. I've seen the guys both on TV and otherwise. They play them now, so they know exactly what they are. It will be very difficult to have a third strike lucky. Yes,
Fantastic. For Adaka's case, I'm just saying, for more gaming tips, you guys should provide a hotline.
Yes, consultancy services.
No, I think he knows what is costing his team. And if he did the same madness he did from the two last games. If he did the same, they're going to absorb 60 points.
60.
Yeah, so he really saved his team by throwing well.
All right. Now, before we talk about the tactical battle here, let's just have a listen to what the coaches had to say after that game.
Of Cabras, your assessment of the game today?
Yeah, I think KCB played a well-balanced game today. We were outplayed in some times in the game. And I think, yeah, they used their opportunities when they got in our 22 and scored points, where we struggled to score points. And yeah, my hats off to KCB. Good team and well played today.
It is the first loss for Cabras this season in the Kenya Cup, but what does it tell you about the types of opponents you're going to face even in the playoffs and the final eventually?
Nothing is going to come easily. For you to be successful, you need to work hard week after week. And the boys must understand that everybody is coming, so that's why we must keep on working hard, going back to the drawing board, and then take the next game for next week.
What are your thoughts? You've handed them their first defeat in the Kenya Cup this season.
With 40 points.
With 44 points?
I mean, the boys stuck to their guns. They stuck to their guns. We had a plan. We had a contest plan coming in here, and they executed. Cabras really brought the game. The scores do not tell the actual game, but I mean, when you get a good side, you learn from them and you pick what you can pick. You know, we take the positives, the negatives, you're going to work on them at training.
Yeah. I saw you in the sidelines celebrating. How important is this win? As well for the fans, just to remind people that KCB is the team to be beaten.
No, this one is not that KCB is the team to be beaten. But we had a plan coming into this game, and we executed it. You know, different games, different days. I mean, it's just a league game. It's not a final. If it was a final, you could have gotten, yeah. But it's a league game. It's a chance to test where we are and what we need to do. Yeah.
And in terms of the points, you are now at loggerheads. You guys are level on points. It's just the points difference that is separating the two sides. How confident are you that you can compete now come the playoff stage?
We are not worried about that much. Yeah, we just want to put our structures in place, take the negatives that I've seen from here, and then work on them at training.
All right, let us talk about Curtis a little bit. I mean, you guys, I don't know if you watched the match live, but he was having the time of his life on the sidelines.
No, Curtis absorbs the energy from his players, from the fans. Curtis is a kind of guy who has the atmosphere, makes him charged up, gets him charged up. I like the personality that he is. He goes all out there and doesn't hide his emotion. He's very temperamental, and you need that in a coach to divulge and that the colleague walk you can see on screen. That is an exceptional guy. He knows what he does. He does it very, very well and enjoys his time. I think.
Where do you think he beat Henley tactically in this game? Like, where do you think he got the better of?
He attacked the 10 channel very easily and made sure they snuffed him out of possession. And when Henley's men's heads were down, that's the time Curtis started playing football. Because you saw right from the onset, it was about, you remember what you were saying about looking each other in the eye and asking questions? He asked questions in the first half. And if you could see, if you had a good look, when KCB considered the first try, everyone was really calm. They knew what they wanted, what they're bringing onto the table, and it was about what can they bring vis-a-vis what we have. So they'll bring whatever it is that we can. Let's read out. Let's find out what else they've got, absorb all the pressure, and give it to them in the second half. I think they played brilliantly.
Lavin, there's a high chance these two teams might face each other again in the final if they both make it to the final, that is. What do you think Cabras have learned from this game that they've played against them in the...
For Cabras, I think they need leaders in that team. The reason I say this is because some of the decisions they made is what lost them the game. If you have a very strong scrum, the referee has called penalty for the first one, you take the other scrum, and then you elect to kick for the line-out, which you eventually lose. It shows you poor decision-making. And then the other thing is the game is still within reach. It's within 10 points. You choose to take the quick tap. There's still a bit of time. That shows poor leadership because it shows you've lost the project.
I think it's because it's worked. The quick tap has worked for them last games they played.
Yes.
Especially even against Towers.
Yes.
And they thought that is the way to win games.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately
it shows you that KCB did their homework very well on them. And the other thing KCB did very well is they shut out Wokerach. Because they were very solid on the defense.
Yeah.
Cabras were trying to play the pass off the back, but it was being shut down very well.
And they played double tackles also.
Yeah, double tackles very well.
They didn't have the one-on-one tackles like we've had, where the slippery guys can slip out of. It was really narrow from the set piece. It was very, very narrow. They never bothered about the guy outside, and they moved in. They moved in doubles. So now that took the ball, they shut him down really.
If Cabras were to if Cabras meet KCB again and they want to give them more trouble, I think first of all you should bring your big ball carriers into the game, meaning you have to use Nick Baraza in the midfield. You have to bring Kevin Keegan in much earlier. I don't know if the coach is bold enough to put Basson on the bench and start with Kevin Keegan. I mean, that's what I would do. Yes. But anyway, it depends on what he starts with. Yeah. And then I think just a bit more leadership from the likes of Nyambua. And then for both teams, you should work on your discipline, because the referee, Constant Cap, briefed them before the game that he's watched both teams and their tackles are a bit high.
Yes.
And those yellow cards that were issued in the game, which is a testament that both teams have to work on their discipline. So Cabras, I mean, it was a good gauge for them. At least now they've come down to earth. Their fans have come down to earth now.
The fans have known there's other teams in the league.
Yes, there's other teams in the league. For Kolago, he says it was just another Kenya Cup game, but that's a lie, because for him, it's about proving something.
It's
and
about
I think
proving
he's done
something,
yes.
indeed.
They're just being polite. And
like Coach Henley said, he has to go back to the drawing board, so there's some changes he has to make.
My goodness, I don't think he's going to make any changes. His head has swollen so much, and Pa Waters was around from Thursday to beef up the team to play KCB. And they still came up with the same outfit as he always has. There's very little to do within that realm. And especially if you don't have a good bench, it is very, very difficult. But again, maybe he's a genius and he probably will work something out. But if anything does not change between now and the finals, if they do make the final, it's going to be very difficult for them.
All right. You mentioned fans. And despite it being a battle for glory, of course, and pride for the teams, in the stands, there was a battle for bragging rights, and I managed to catch up with the fans after the game, Cabras fans and, of course, KCB fans. This is what they had to say.
Okay, there are some points like we felt there are some losses, there are some mistakes that we made that made KCB to punish us on our side, but we are going to correct all the same mistakes, and trust me, you in the final, after correcting the same mistakes, we'll make it right.
Yeah, the aggressiveness, my players' aggressiveness, they're lacking that aggressiveness. As I told you in advance, KCB has that experience. So we need to check up on aggressiveness. Our players have to face the game in aggressive manner. And that is what we are going to do. And especially when we are having the ball at our side. We are losing too much and we are going to observe that.
KCB were good, they won the game, but they have not won the final. They are coming for the final in Kakamega. If they make it. For the semis, they are still there. We are still number one. And despite the results, we won the game. We are still there. We are still fighting. And we'll never give up. And we are still fighting. Cabras, Cabras! Cabras, Cabras!
We came in knowing that it was going to be a hard game. But our guys have trained hard. We had that one belief that if they played according to what they've been training, because we've been watching them train, we knew that we will carry the day. But hatukuwa tunataka kupiga kelele. Sisi hatupigangi kelele za Facebook. Tulitaka vijana wakutane hapa, waulizane maswali na wajibiwe. Na clearly umeona watu wamejibiwa maswali hapa.
If you are keen on the social media, there's a lot of hype for this game. But endurance is the word. You see? You have to build a team. You cannot get people from everywhere else then build a team. You have to have a team to win this game. So this game was for bragging rights. Indeed, we have the bragging rights. We beat Cabras with a bonus. Yesterday they were unbeaten. Today they are beaten.
Both team 1 and 2.
Both team 1 and 2.
We are the champions and we played like the champions. And I tell you, if this game, if we had 10 more minutes, we would have 50 and above. We, as KCB, we don't care whether we're going to be having the finals here or in Timbuktu or wherever. We'll still do the same. We've been doing it. We are bold and we come hard and strong. That is our motto.
All right. I'm tempted to... We go ask Kariu for us to take this final to Timbuktu. Just so we see. But, I mean, it was a fight for bragging rights. I mean,
it's a very interesting,
for the fans as
it's
well.
a very interesting thing. And just off air, we were talking about the importance of the fans coming in and being very passionate about this. Because for the game to grow, the fans have got to be there. Because sponsors eventually just follow where the eyes are. And to see so passionate fans traveling and those that are here throwing banter on to each other, it's really exciting to see. So for me, I think for the growth of the game, that is very, very positive. And to see that the quality of the game is also improving on the same background, that's a very good future for us.
All right, other results across the country. I'm looking at you today.
Yeah, you're looking at me, obviously.
The other day I was looking at Benja. Yeah. So, but we'll start off with, let's just take a look at, I don't know if you have the results, they'll be up on your screens in a few, but quick one, Nakuru, Mwamba. Huge win for Nakuru here.
Let me just say, I mean, it's ironic, but historically, Mwamba never really traveled well to Nakuru. I can't remember the last time we beat Nakuru at home. And the reverse is true, because if Nakuru come, we normally beat them. So
the nest is not too cozy for you.
Yeah, I think the only unfortunate bit is Mwamba was not able to pick up a losing bonus point, which I think would have helped us in the table. But I mean, all credit to Nakuru. They came out, they played. It's good to see Oscar Uma back, at least working on his fitness. So, I mean, good win for them. Mwamba, we need to go back to the drawing board.
As you can see, small margin win there for Nondi's, bonus point for Blackbird.
When we spoke about Black Blood here, guys are saying, oh, SG Harlequins are weak. Nondi's. 3 points difference.
3 points difference.
Yeah.
So they're a nuisance,
and
Blackbird.
They're a good side.
It was 7-7 for a long time. I think that 3 points was towards the end of the game.
And those 3 points, they're just very lucky. There's one or two Black Blood guys that were not present. This Black Blood side is a very good side.
They've been really fighting for the points.
They fight for the points. And this is the kind of trouble they're going to give anybody they play from now on. And anybody who's playing them ought to know that there's trouble coming their way.
Back to winning ways. Kenya Harlequins.
Yes.
Back to third.
Back to third, yes. But it was, the first half was awful. Strathmore were leading. We're leading 12 points to 5. And I had a tongue lash for my guys at halftime. Luckily, we had a good cop in our head coach, so he streamlined. He told them tactical stuff. I didn't give any tactical stuff to the answer. I just annoyed and lashed out at them. But we came back in the second half and scored quite a few tries in the second half. You see, there's a 36 points in the second half. 7 tries.
All right. Quick peek at the table. You guys are back to third, like I said, so we'll have the table up for you. But at the top, I mean, they're tied. I mean, it's that loggerheads right now. It's 49-49.
49-49.
And the points difference was 100, I think, 2 weeks before. It's now 50. Now, I don't know. I'm just going to ask. If Cabras are to leapfrog, I mean, KCB are to leapfrog Cabras, is it the bonus points or even the points scored in games?
The bonus points and the points scored. And they know that. But again, for KCB now, it won't be about the points difference. They're not really bothered where they get to between first and second, because they know.
Because they say they can even play in Timbuktu.
No, so they don't mind even going to Kakamega. They're a good side. I don't think that would be an issue for now. The guys were bruised like a brass because they thought maybe being unbeaten had some points, but again, they've come down to earth and they know there's competition down in this league. So what we see now may stand, because knowing Curtis, he'll just want to win games comfortably so that he can get to he can stay at the top 2 spot. But again, I don't think it will be that serious for him to try and look for massive points just to leap from Cabras.
And regardless of where the final is played, I just want to ask, what has it done to Cabras psychologically?
I think, I mean,
this loss.
This loss, for me, it's a blessing in disguise. Because for Cabras, imagine if they'd won this game only to be blown out in the final. But you see, they've lost now. So at least they are alive to the fact that, okay, we are not as good as we thought. So for me, I mean, it's a blessing in disguise because they're still top. They lost, and now they know what they need to work on. So, I mean, it's a loss away from home. They should not take it really to heart, but use it as an opportunity to work on the things that they need to do.
It's a good way of looking at it. Very quickly, the other bracket here between 3rd and 6th, the other playoff spots.
Yes.
Homeboys go further down to 8th place.
Yeah, that's
tricky.
That's tricky. Their loss last weekend did not do any good to them. Is that 28 points?
Yeah, 28 for Nakuru.
28 for Nakuru,
26 for...
26 for, yeah. They're a far... It's a far cry. Because Impala are 29,
29,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have to work really hard. I don't know who the Homeboys have in the next few games.
Nondis next.
My goodness, that's going to be trouble as well.
Yeah,
because now they've got to, for them to actually make it to the playoffs.
In fact, you've mentioned that we'll just have the fixtures for next weekend up as we continue.
They've got to win at least 3 games with a bonus point for them to have a chance. And assuming that the guys above them are not going to be winning with bonus points.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be a difficult job getting back up there.
The other TV game, Black Blood versus Impala, is a good one now.
Yeah,
that's going to be really good.
Yeah, because Black Blood are on the ascendancy, but you see also Impala have won their last game, and they've just snuck into that final playoff spot. So I think for them, they want to build on that momentum. But Black Blood, if the last 2 games is anything to go by, they will not be a pushover.
The tails are up now, Black Blood, so it's going to be a very tough run for Impala.
It's more of like a do or die for Homeboys.
Yes, for Homeboys is definitely a do or die, and I don't think
neutral ground at least. Ruaraka.
Yeah, and I don't think Ojal is sitting pretty, because if he loses, if he also loses, then he drops down. I think Mwamba then leapfrogs him, so he's looking to win this game definitely.
The points
so
margin is not too big.
No, it's not.
It isn't. And that's all we're saying. It's going to be fluid between 3 and...
You lose one game, you move from 3 to 7.
Yeah.
that's how tough
it
is.
Yes.
Now, there's a fixture I've seen here. You guys are trying to avoid it.
Which one is this?
Mwamba versus Queen.
That's going to be a tough one.
That's going to be a tough one, eh?
Yeah, of course.
For Mwamba, it's a tough one, because if you look at the table, if Mwamba lose this game, then depending on other results, they could slip as far down as number 7. So, I mean, it's very important. But you see, for Harlequins, I mean, it's a game that's important for both teams. My only hope is that Mwamba learned from the first leg, where Queens pumped in a lot of points in the first half. By the time Mwamba woke up, it was too late. So I hope they will learn from that. But definitely Queens, it's always a good game to play against Kenya Harlequins. I'm not sure about the venue for this fixture. But anyway,
said Driller Club, but the ground aren't very good, so it might change.
Yeah, it might change.
It might change. Yes. Yeah. But very quick, one of the feature games, Nondis and Homeboys, it is a big game for both teams.
That's a massive game. Actually, both TV games are quite interesting.
Quite massive. We managed to catch up with Coach Willis, Ojal, and Simon as well. He was not wearing a vest.
Yes, thank God. A nice, smart pole.
The same squad that played on Saturday is fully fit. Pending, maybe they might do a video physio review tomorrow, but I think all should be fit for selection. But the same players who are out, I think we have 13 guys out at the moment, so none of them is back yet. I think the earliest is Songoi, who may come back, but he will have to play ESS because he's been out for a while, and Sambo, that's Aaron Kalechi, who had concussion, so we'll monitor him this week and see if he's much fit to play. Nondis obviously have started very well. They play very good rugby, by the way. Even when they were not in the playoff positions, they are still playing good rugby. They always turn up against Homeboys. They always have that thing that they can be beaten by Homeboys. So it's another challenge to our players. And as I said, the players have to really step up and challenge the position that they put themselves in.
Unfortunately for this week, we're not going to have Sine at fly half, so which means that's our third fly half gone for this week, for this season. So obviously we're going to try and tweak that a bit and see who else we can put in at the number 10 position. As you know, obviously Benji Marshall is out, Eric Gitao is out after the other weekend's injuries. But like we've said, they just keep playing for one another, and someone is going to step up, and once you wear the jersey, no excuses. Just like you said, they're very physical, so we have to be able to match them up on the physicality, and then obviously pull a joke out just to put something extra onto it, to spice it up a bit beyond the physicality. Our first goal, because we put it short-term, long-term, so for the season, first one was to try and hit playoffs. So we're still on course for that. And then from once we hit that, then we say what else we want to hit. Just like in a business, you know, you want to hit first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. So our first quarter is to hit playoffs.
Building up well here. I mean, the battle for the showground, like you said, eh?
Yes, the battle for the showground. Albeit Nondi's moved to the Polo Club, but it's still the same area. So the guys who train with each other sometimes and on the same field. So it's going to be a bruising battle.
I mean, Homeboys lost the first leg of this fixture. They'll be keen to try and right the wrongs, depending on how you look at it. But like Ojala said, there's short-term goals and long-term goals. They're on course for that one. So they would want to do a back-to-back against Homeboys. Chapati Ive side zote mbili. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But it's a very good fixture.
I feel there's some tough predictions to make here this week.
Extremely.
Let's just go real quick. Black Blood Impala?
I'm calling Impala.
You're calling Impala?
Yeah, but it will be very close.
Impala.
Yeah. Black Blood.
Black Blood, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Nondi's Homeboys?
I'm calling Homeboys.
Yeah, Homeboys.
Yes.
Simon. Foxy atakutafuta.
Homeboys have to win. They have to win.
They have to win. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more at stake for Homeboys,
yes? Yes.
All right. This one I already know. Mamba Harlequins.
Yeah.
All right. Min Machine Cabras.
Cabras.
Yeah.
Oilers KCB.
KCB.
Nakuru Leos.
Nakuru.
It's at Nakuru, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nakuru.
Yeah.
Nakuru.
All right. Fantastic. Gentlemen, we have a few minutes to spare, so we talk about the World 7 Series.
Yes.
Yep.
Shujaz are in Las Vegas for this weekend's leg.
Yes.
Pool B, your thoughts?
Wow.
It's a tough
we
one.
reviewed the squad last week, yeah?
Yes.
And, you know, as much as I want to be positive, man, those America at home, you will never beat those guys. Never. We've got a very good chance against France and Argentina. But again, Argentina are closer to home. So a good chance there is France. Who will not lose to Kenya just because of pride?
Anyway, let me say one
thing. We're in what a friend of mine called Malonzo would call fangas wakamangas. There's no escape.
Let me just talk about the Las Vegas Sevens. One interesting thing that people may or may not know is they converted, I think, an NFL pitch into a rugby pitch. So it's squeezed. It's
very narrow.
It's very narrow.
Yes.
So meaning you have to change your game plan. If you're used to running the ball on the wide, you run and you find yourself outside.
Yes.
So such a pitch.
And you can't even run outside. You can't even run outside because there's walls in the side.
Yeah, there's walls on the side. So I mean, it's a pitch that can favor you if you're the physical type, like the US is, and like Argentina is. So now for us, we need to be very clever at how we take the contact, because contact is unavoidable in the Vegas pitch. But when you get the 1 or 2 chances that you need to run, you better make sure you run. It's only unfortunate that Olindi didn't make it. But I mean,
I think it's our first Vegas run was really good because we were playing 5 men in the front.
Yes.
So we only played 5 men in the front, and those 2 guys were always looking for the gaps. And before anybody knew what we were doing, the tournament was over. We had made it to the semis.
Yes.
Wow.
In the next year, they caught up with us.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So I mean, teams definitely have done their homework on Kenya. They know where to attack. But likewise, as we know, we lost, I think, by over 40 to the US, lost over 40 to France. So I hope we've learned for those
the
two
bit
games.
about the narrow pitch also is that because you can't play wide, it's really close contact. So if you do a tackling well, the point difference might not be that big.
Yes. And like you say, these are new crop of players as well.
Extremely new, yes.
They've not been...
Oh, man. I feel it for them because it's really bruising out there.
Yeah. And very quickly, sorry.
There's no hiding.
Put the heart aside, because I know you want us to get all 3 wins, but what's a doable target?
I just told you about what is doable. Not much.
I think for us, let's build up on day one and challenge for the challenge trophy.
Challenge for the challenge trophy.
Yes. Let's build on
reasons being also because we're looking for points.
Yes.
We get to the challenge trophy final.
Yeah.
We got a very good chance going into Vancouver.
Yes.
We get a better pool.
Yeah.
Because this is really tough.
Yes.
That works better.
Yes.
By the way. Now, quick reminder of how things stand in the World 7 Series. We'll have that up in a few. But like you said, we're not in a good position, but you're very confident that we'll avoid
yes,
the,
yes, yes.
the drop.
Yes, I hope it doesn't wear
13th.
out. It doesn't wear out after this tournament. But
so you have the likes of Wales and Japan who are very close, huh?
Yeah, we need to claw against France. It's a 12-point
if we
gap.
claw against France, you know the good thing about meeting these guys in the pool stages is if we claw against France, who are just above us, chances are that when they come and play in the Challenge Trophy and they make it the final and they don't,
yeah,
then
the
we
point
will
reduces.
them.
Yes,
yes.
But yeah, we have to pick points.
We also have to be wary of where Japan and Wales finish. In terms of points, yeah? You've seen the point margin is huge.
Yes.
It's a whole 12.
Well, you see, between Japan
points.
and us, the point is one.
It's one.
Point difference is one. Yeah. So hopefully Wales and Japan don't go any further. Yeah. Unless we meet them, if we meet them on the second day, we must beat one of the two. And if better for us if we can meet both of them, we beat those two, then we're a little safe. Because as we climb them, they don't get as many points. It's a very tricky situation. Yeah.
So use this leg to prepare for Vancouver. You feel we can do better in Vancouver?
It's only we have to do well here.
Yeah, just focus on Las Vegas.
Yeah, for the pooling.
Focus on Las Vegas.
Focus on Las Vegas.
Yes.
And you know, miracles happen as well.
Yeah.
We could easily sneak in.
We are praying for miracles now.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
It's a very tough. It's a very tough outing.
Yeah, it's tough.
And if by chance we get to the quarterfinals in this tournament, this team could easily get to the semi-finals. Yes. That's how thin it is.
It's a thin line.
Quick question. Do you feel these two legs are crucial now?
Yes.
Where we're going to...
they're very crucial.
Is it halfway already or past? A little past?
Yeah,
it's halfway. It's halfway on the weekend.
It's halfway, and you see that's when the lethargy kicks in. Because once you've played 3 tournaments, chances are, you pick a knock here, pick a knock there. So these 2 legs are very, very important in determining where we end up at the end of the season.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I just wanted to ask for predictions, but I don't know if you guys will be willing. USA, France.
We'll lose against the USA. We have a chance against France.
Yes.
We have a
Argentina.
Chance. No, we'll lose against Argentina.
I think we have a chance against France.
Speaking with the head, not the heart, obviously.
No, this is from the head.
Yeah.
The heart will win.
The heart was 3 wins. This is just
I think
disclaimer.
We have a chance against France and Argentina. The US, it will be a bit difficult because they have good form at the moment, and it's their home tournament. They always do very well in their home tournament.
All right, gentlemen, time is up. Another 50 minutes of try time.
It's gone already.
We're on a roll. Yeah. But I see you're doing well with the half.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
Halfway. Now I'm halfway.
Just the halfway.
Now I just need to know how fat I am.
Is it a V or a U or a U?
Yeah. Then I get the buttons on, then the tie on. It's going to be
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the fantastic analysis, Lavin and Benjamin. Let's meet again on Try Time next week on Wednesday, same time right here. Until then, keep it sporty.